Welcome to week 4. If you're watching this video, it's because you're in my English 11 class and you were gone this week, multiple days, maybe one day. So fast forward it to whatever part that you need. This week is also a 4-day week because we had President's Day on Monday. So A day, which is 4th period, I will have you Tuesday and Thursday. And then B day, I will have you 5th and 6th period. Or B day, 5th and 6th period, I will have you Wednesday and Friday. So, couple quick announcements. For those of you that are interested in participating with West Salem Volleyball next fall, we are having a meeting this Wednesday upstairs in the library at 3:30 right after school. So if that's you, come by. Our new head coach is going to be there and giving some information about the upcoming season and open gyms and stuff like that. Another thing, I have compiled so far all of the notes that we have taken within our argument and persuasion unit, and I put them in these packets, and I have a few printed out. So if you would like to use this, and I highly recommend that you do, or just grab one, it'll be helpful, especially when we work on our Super Bowl project, and then eventually when we get to our paper that we're going to write. This will help you because all the notes that we've taken so far have been spread out over a few weeks, and it's just kind of hard to have them all in one spot. So that's why I made that for you. So if you need one, come ask me. We're going to start off the first part of the first day with some independent reading time. And then 5th and 6th period, I did give you the instructions for this. 4th period, you're going to get them for the first time this week, but either way, I think this is good to review. The instructions on this. So you are going to create a Super Bowl ad, and you get a choice between doing a video or a print magazine ad. This is just an example, just to show you a visual of the print ad. If you choose to do the print ad, that is an individual assignment on your own. If you choose to do the video, you can do it by yourself, or if you would like to do it in a small group of 4 people or less, you can. The due date for this is March 10th, which is the last day before the first 6-week grading day. So including this week, that gives you 3 weeks to work on this. I'm going to give you some time in class this week, possibly some time next week, but you steward your time wisely. So I will link some examples on Canvas for you to see and show you in class as well. If you had me last year, which there is a good portion of you that did have me last year over Zoom with distance learning, you cannot reuse the project that you used last year. I am challenging you to either pick a different option. So let's say you did the video, I want you to try the magazine ad. Or if you want to stick with the option you did, that's fine, but you need to do a completely new product, something entirely different from what you did before. And then in class, I'm going to give you a handout where you tell me which one you're choosing to do. And then I'm also going to give you a graphic organizer that looks like this. This is one that I filled out just to show you an example of what it might look like. You are going to make sure that you plan and prep for this and not just kind of go, oh, let's make a funny video. Obviously, I would love to see a very funny video, but I need you to demonstrate that you have an understanding of these strategies and techniques that we've talked about that align them with the standards, and you're going to actually use them thoughtfully in your project. So you're going to fill this out, and this is part of the points for the final project of this Super Bowl ad. So make sure you turn this in when it is done. This week also, I'm going to be doing check-in meetings. I'm going to pull you up either individually I'm pulling you up based off of what project you're doing. So if you're doing an option that's by yourself, it'll just be you and me having a quick check-in. And if you're doing it in a group for the video, I will pull your small group up to talk about what you're doing. You're going to tell me like where your plan is at, and I'm going to give you the final okay to see what product you picked, because I didn't say that it needed to be school appropriate. I was just hoping we all knew that, but we're going to check in on that. Okay. So we are going to talk about another form of media, which is social media. To start the second day of class this week, you're going to get into groups of 3, and you're going to create a pro and con list for social media, thinking of as many pros and as many cons as you can for both sides in 5 minutes. So it'll be on this handout. And then we're going to use that to kind of lead us into this discussion watching these 2 John Green crash course videos. The first one is on social media, so you're going to answer these 2 questions. And with this video, you only need to watch the first 10 minutes, so you can stop at 10:42. And then the second video is all about lateral reading, which is going to come into play when we work on our argumentative paper. And this one, you only need to watch the first 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Another thing we are going to do this week is the student path survey. We did do this back in semester 1, and this is something that everybody in the English department is doing. It helps us raise money for the English department, so you need to fill this out. The instructions on how to do it are linked here, and it should be the winter and spring survey. Winter/spring. Okay. Something as kind of a precursor to what we're doing, you need to take 5 minutes and look up these vocabulary words and tell me what the definitions are. Write the definitions in the boxes below. Vigilante, contingency, oversight, and ratify. We need to know what these things are before our next activity. So you can pause this video and do that. So we are going to do an activity that I think is going to be really fun. I'm also really proud of myself because I designed this activity. I didn't steal it from like another teacher on Instagram or the internet. I came up with this and I think it's going to be really cool. So we've had multiple opportunities to look at different arguments. We watched Adam Driver's TED Talk last week. You read an article about Kobe and the legacy of the NBA and being drafted. And now we're going to look at an argument that is in the form of film. We are going to watch 10 minutes of Captain America Civil War because this story and this movie provides an argument that I think is going to be really fun for us to analyze and practice those skills that we've been sharpening. So to give you some background context, some of you I know have seen every single Marvel movie. You're obsessed. You know all the details. Some of you, it's not your thing, and that's totally fine. So I'm going to give you some background context as to what we're looking at. So in this movie, with many people fearing the actions of superheroes, the government decides to push for the Hero Registration Act, called the Sokovia Accords, pictured on the bottom right, a law that limits heroes' actions. This results in a division amongst the Avengers. Iron Man stands with this act, claiming that their actions must be kept in check, otherwise cities will continue to be destroyed, but Captain America feels that saving the world is daring enough and that they cannot rely on the government to protect the world. So essentially, you have 2 sides, Iron Man and Captain America, with several other heroes on each side. Iron Man's team says that they have caused so much destruction with fighting all these different battles all over the world, and they need to be kind of put in check. They need to have some limits on that via the government. And Captain America says, no, the world needs to be saved, and sometimes casualties happen. So that's the proposal. That's the argument in the main plot. Those are the 2 sides. The question we need to answer through analyzing this is which argument is more persuasive? Pro Accords, which would be Team Iron Man, or anti Accords, which would be Cap. This is not an activity where you're going to say, which side do I personally agree with, or which hero is cooler. We're going to try to avoid those biases as much as we can and solely look at the evidence. What points are they making in their argument to see which one truly is more persuasive based off of all the strategies and techniques that we've learned about so far. So these are the steps, and this is going to be an in-class activity. If you are gone the day that this happens, come talk to me individually and we will work something out. You're going to watch a 10-minute clip from Captain America Civil War. It's technically 2 5-minute clips, and I will play that for you in class. You're going to get into groups of 2 or 3, no more and no less. You are going to sort the points of evidence on poster paper into 2 categories, pro accords and anti accords. And these are not labeled, so you don't know who is saying what. I'm going to give you a copy of the script so you can look at that and kind of mark it up, but you're going to kind of shuffle these around on paper to show me which side is which without knowing who is saying what. And then within that, you're going to highlight ethos, pathos, and logos and identify evidence using 5 types: facts, numbers, examples, analogies, and quotes. And then after you have done all of that sorting and identifying within your group, you are going to discuss and decide which side, Captain America or Iron Man, is the most persuasive. And after every group has had an opportunity to sort these things out and discuss amongst themselves, you're each within your group going to give like a excuse me, a 30-second speech to the rest of the class explaining what conclusion you came to. And I would bet that we will have, it won't be unanimous. I think some people will say that Captain America's team was more convincing and some people will say Iron Man. So we're going to kind of have a little debate within class about that. And then if you are pursuing honors credit, you need to meet me in the hall in person. If not, you can just go on Canvas in the honors section. There's going to be an honors extension assignment that goes with this, and I can explain that, but doesn't apply to everybody. So if that's you and you're gone, come talk to me. Okay, that is it for week 4. If you have any questions, please let me know.